Welcome to Chrysler's growing family of new vehicle owners, and welcome to our special presentation of tips and information about your new car or truck. This tape is a gift from us here at Chrysler and from your dealer. It's got lots of information about keeping your new vehicle in top operating condition. We hope you enjoy it and use it. It's part of our commitment to your complete satisfaction. And remember, at Chrysler, we say satisfaction is your right. So enjoy your new car or truck and drive safely.
Hi, and welcome to the family. Chrysler's growing family of Jeep Comanche owners of hard-working Jeep trucks that deliver off-road freedom and on-road security, and deliver it in style. We designed this videotape to help you get the maximum service, fun, and satisfaction from your new Comanche.
We'll give you all sorts of helpful tips about how to benefit most from your Comanche's special features, and how to put the principle of maintenance as an investment to work for you, in order to get the full value from one of the most rugged, reliable vehicles in the world. For those of you who have it, we'll look at four-wheel drive and off-road operation, and we'll explain the terms of Chrysler's 770 warranty coverage, show you how to work with your dealership service department, and much, much more.
You may already know most of this, but it might be a big help to anyone else in your household who might drive your Comanche. So, let's get started. Your new Comanche is delivered road ready, but there are a few things you can do to get it off to a good start. For example, take it easy for the first few hundred miles. No towing, snow plowing, or strenuous off-road exercise. And monitor your new truck's operation closely.
Your Comanche comes fully equipped with a wide range of modern operating controls and special features. Let's look more closely at your instrument cluster. Your trucks may look like this, with a full set of analog gauges. Pay particular attention to coolant temperature. If it ever goes above the safe range or the warning light glows,
pull over, leave the engine running, and increase the idle speed for 2 to 3 minutes to help cool it down. If the indicator doesn't return to the safe range, turn off the engine and call your dealership for advice.
Monitor the oil pressure indicator too. If the pressure drops while driving, pull over, turn the engine off immediately, and call your dealership for advice. Now let's take a look at the climate control unit. The top lever controls function, optional air conditioning, heating, and defrosting. The bottom lever controls air temperature. This thumb wheel on the left controls fan speed. Your sound system may look like this. Electronic presetting is easy. Use station seeking to automatically find the next station up and down the entire frequency range. When you've selected a station, depress the selector button for a few seconds. When the station comes back on, it's been programmed into the memory. This electronic unit enables you to program 4 stations per button, 2 AM and 2 FM, for a total of 20 stations.
One of the nicest things about owning a Comanche is all the room you have for cargo carrying. Read the descriptions in your owner's manual for cargo limits, safe load distribution, and tie-down. They're critical for good handling and vehicle safety. And please use your seat belts. Keep them snugly adjusted, flat, and twist-free for maximum protection. Whenever you drive, wherever you drive.
Your Jeep truck has the driving strength, the power plant, to deliver the tough, grinded-out power you expect of it. To keep it at peak performance levels, it needs regular dealer maintenance, plus some preventive maintenance checks you can perform yourself. The major checkpoints on either the 6-cylinder engine or the 4 are coolant, engine oil, and windshield washer fluid. Let's start by checking the coolant level. Check the coolant only at the recovery bottle. On the 6-cylinder models, do the check with the engine cold and use caution because the recovery bottle is part of a pressurized system. On Comanches with a 4-cylinder engine, make the check when the vehicle is up to operating temperature. If the coolant's low, add a 50-50 mix of fresh coolant or antifreeze and clean water at the recovery bottle. You should never have to open the radiator cap itself. Check the engine oil regularly when the engine is up to operating temperature. Turn the engine off and give the oil time to drain back into the oil pan. That will assure an accurate level check. These marks show the safe level. If you have to add oil, follow the oil grade and viscosity guidelines detailed in the owner's manual. Be careful when adding oil on your own, and don't overfill. Too much oil can be just as bad for engines as too little. On to the washer bottle. If it's less than a quarter full, add some fresh mixture. The other checkpoints you should be aware of include the automatic transmission fluid, the hydraulic clutch fluid on manual shift Comanches, power steering fluid, and master brake cylinder fluid. You may want to leave these for the dealer to do during regularly scheduled maintenance visits. One roadside emergency you'll probably have to deal with at some point is a flat tire. Your owner's manual details the step-by-step jacking and tire changing procedure, and you should review it. The jack and jacking instructions are back here, behind the seat, and the spare location under the truck bed. Use the winch driver and jack handle to lower the spare by inserting the handle into the hole between the bumper and the truck bed, right here above the license plate. Here are some basic safety precautions. If you do have to change a tire, get the truck as far away from traffic as possible. Park on solid, level ground. Avoid sand or soft shoulders. Turn the ignition off and your hazard lights on. And make sure to set the parking brake. Engage the transfer case and put the car in park for automatics or reverse for manual shifts. Then chock both sides of the tire diagonally opposite the flat and loosen the lug nuts. A half turn counterclockwise will do it. Before you try to raise the vehicle on the jack, check the alignment of jack point and jack head as diagrammed in your owner's manual. Then raise it up.
Whether you own a Cherokee, Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer, Wrangler, or Comanche, if you're like most Jeep owners, you value the freedom and security of four-wheel drive. If your new Jeep vehicle is also your first 4x4, well, here's a basic explanation of four-wheel drive operation.
With two-wheel drive, which a few of you have, power from the engine passes through a regular transmission to turn the rear drive wheels. On a four-wheel drive Jeep vehicle, the torque or turning power goes through a transmission and a transfer case, which distributes power to all four wheels, as shown here. Jeep vehicles have either of two four-wheel drive systems, Command Track or Select Track. Command Track is a part-time system which delivers additional direct power to the front wheels whenever you pull the lever while on the fly. In good weather, use the two-wheel drive position on hard or dry road surfaces. But let's say the weather changes up ahead. You get caught in a cloudburst. Just reach over and shift the transfer case into 4H on the fly. And when the vehicle is on dry road again, be sure to shift back to two-wheel drive. If you have Select Track, the premium full-time four-wheel drive system, you can just put the transfer case into full-time four-wheel drive in similar conditions and leave it while driving on any surface, dry, wet, or snow-covered. If the going gets really tough, or you have to creep along, 4Low's low-speed maximum four-wheel pulling power should haul you out. On the rare occasion you might need to shift into 4Low, mud or sand or very deep snow, pulling another vehicle out of trouble, going straight up or down a steep grade, just follow this procedure. Be sure your vehicle is fully engaged in the 4H position before you attempt to shift into 4Low. Then stop or slow down to no more than 2 or 3 miles per hour. Put the transmission into neutral, and shift the transfer case lever over to the right and then into 4 low, like this for select track, and like this for command track, and use this lever by the seat on your Grand Wagoneer. Never try to engage 4 low at speeds above 2 or 3 miles per hour. And please remember, 4-wheel drive increases traction and drive control only. It does not increase braking power by shortening stopping distance. So take it easy when situations warrant it. And remember, not everyone is driving a sure-footed Jeep vehicle. Allow extra room to stop or steer clear of trouble. Well, that's a quick rundown of 4-wheel drive basics. Next, we'll cover some off-road guidelines and towing tips. Well, now that we've seen how 4-wheel drive can get you where you want to go with greater traction and control, let's run down a few off-road guidelines, beginning with respect for the environment. Some areas are off-limits to 4-wheelers. Don't go where you might cause damage. Pay attention to signs and look for this symbol posted by the U.S. Forest Service for approved off-road areas. Take it easy off-road, especially your first few trips. Go slow and learn as you go. Let someone know where you're going and when you'll be back. And use your seat belts whenever you go off-road or anytime you're driving. One good idea is to take those first few off-road jaunts with another experienced off-road driver. Another great way to learn about off-road operation is to watch Jeep's own hour-long videotape on the subject. It's called Jeep's World of Four-Wheeling, and it's available through your Jeep dealer or by calling our toll-free number. So, let's tackle some hills and dales in 4-wheel drive. First thing to remember is to use lower gears, but not any lower than required to keep making good headway. Too low and you'll spin the wheels and lose traction. You should always head straight up a steep grade. If you can't make it, stop using the brakes, then shift to reverse and back down the hill. Press lightly on the brake pedal to control the descent. And never try to turn around on a steep hill. If you're heading down a steep hill, use the lower gears at idle speed. That way, the engine will help keep vehicle speed down. Don't simply rely on the brakes, which can heat up and fade under extended application. Another situation, mud or water. The first important rule is check the depth before you drive in, and then drive in slowly. In deep mud or water, use lower gear settings and keep moving. In mud, use a technique called walking the wheels, steering from side to side rapidly so that more of the tire surface is pulling you forward. Don't stop. Keep moving. The same technique is good for heavy snow or loose sand. Here's a few quick tips for preventive maintenance when you use your vehicle for off-roading. You'll need more frequent engine oil and filter changes, along with chassis lubrication and checks on the condition and level of both the transmission and transfer case fluids. Off-road driving kicks up dirt, dust, and grit, which means extra cleaning and maintenance under the vehicle. Rinse the underside of your vehicle after four-wheeling. Check the tires, treads, and sidewalls too for signs of wear or damage, and maintain proper inflation all around. Have your dealership inspect the drivetrain components, especially the seals and protective boots. If you've driven through deep water, have the transfer case and differentials checked for fluid contamination as well. Towing is very popular among Jeep vehicle owners. Here's a few quick tips. Make sure your hitch is matched to your vehicle's ability to haul a tow load. Check the owner's manual or ask your service advisor. Remember, it's not so hard to pull anything on wheels. The trouble starts when you try to stop. So match the load to your vehicle's towing capacity and hitch package. Backing a trailer can be tricky, so read the towing section in your owner's manual, and maybe try some basic maneuvers in an empty parking lot. When you're backing up, you actually steer in the opposite direction of the way you want to go. So here's a tip. Steer with your hand on the bottom of the wheel. It helps. Your Jeep dealership service advisor can help you with lots of good advice about towing and information about factory-approved Mopar equipment, tow bars, tow hitches, and hitch accessories.
just about all of which are available through your Jeep dealership.
You'll also find off-road accessories like winches, brush guards, extra lighting equipment, running boards.
In all likelihood, your dealership's got it ready to go.
Jeep owners tell us they like the feeling of security their vehicle gives them, knowing it can handle the toughest demands under the roughest conditions. And now there's the added security of knowing your Jeep vehicle is covered by one of the best warranties in the auto industry, Chrysler's 770 Protection Plan. Under the standard 770 Protection Plan, your new Jeep vehicle is automatically covered 4 ways. First, you have 12-month, 12,000-mile basic coverage. That's total vehicle protection against defects in workmanship or materials of all items built or installed by Chrysler. Everything but the routine maintenance, and the tires, which are covered by a separate warranty from the tire manufacturer. Second, there's the 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain coverage that gives the 770 plan its name. Powertrain coverage means protection of the engine and drivetrain components like the transmission, transfer case, and axles, components that make the wheels turn. Third, you get 5-year, 50,000-mile emission control coverage, protection on all emission control systems and components and their performance. And fourth, 7-year, 100,000-mile corrosion coverage. You're given full protection against rust-through on all outer body sheet metal panels.
Check the warranty information booklet for exact details and any deductions or special limits and conditions. One condition, for example, is the deductible amount for service on the powertrain. That means upon expiration of the 12-month, 12,000-mile basic warranty, you will have to pay the first $150 per visit for any repairs on the powertrain of a 4-wheel drive Jeep vehicle and $100 per repair visit on 2-wheel drive models. And remember, your warranty does not cover damage caused by accidents or road hazards or problems arising from inadequate or improper maintenance.
That's why it's so important to drive safely and follow the schedule of recommended maintenance visits spelled out in your owner's manual, and to keep a careful record of all services performed on the car. In addition to the 770 Protection Plan, your dealer can also offer you optional service contract plans for extra coverage on things like the steering and suspension systems, air conditioning, the vehicle's electrical system, and brakes. Service contracts can also help in an emergency by providing a car rental allowance and a towing allowance.
Ask your dealership for further details about available service contracts and the standard 770 Protection Plan. If you ask your dealership service advisor about how often you should have the oil changed in your Jeep vehicle, he or she will try to determine the kind of driving you do. That is, whether you put your vehicle to normal or severe use. The harder you use the vehicle, the more regular dealer maintenance it will require.
Severe driving means just about any off-road operation. Towing a trailer qualifies as severe use, and so does snow plowing. Same for frequent starting and stopping, for example, when you're running weekend errands. Extended periods of idling, say in heavy stop-and-go commuter traffic, or frequent short trips of less than 15 miles, as well as trips in sub-freezing weather.
If any of these conditions applies to your vehicle, follow the severe service schedule detailed in your owner's manual. That'll mean oil and filter servicing every 3 months or about 3,700 miles, whichever comes first.
And have the service performed at your dealership where they use factory-approved genuine Mopar parts. The service advisors and technicians there have the equipment and know-how to do the job quickly, efficiently, and safely. Dealership service technicians have been specially trained to give your Jeep maintenance and service tailored to its specific requirements. Many of them are ASE certified, which means they've passed an industry-sponsored certification test that assures their competence. And don't hesitate to call your dealership's service department if you have a question about your Jeep vehicle's operation or its maintenance requirements. In fact, based on normal service requirements, your dealer may mail you timed service reminders that let you know when a scheduled visit is coming up. And after every service visit, record work done in the service records section of the owner's manual. And save the work orders and receipts, too. They will show that you've had the maintenance required under your Chrysler warranty. Whenever you notice a change in the way your vehicle runs or handles, try to describe the symptoms in simple, straightforward language, and chances are the service advisor can pinpoint it accurately. The service technicians can troubleshoot and correct it quickly.
To help you better understand your new Jeep vehicle, its operation, and its service requirements, your dealership may extend an invitation to attend a Right from the Start seminar.
The seminar will help you get acquainted with your vehicle, show you how to keep it in top condition, and give you a chance to talk informally with the service manager, service advisors, and other key people. The first part of the seminar explains warranty coverages and scheduled maintenance requirements, as well as your dealership's policies and procedures. The second half of the seminar presents hands-on demonstrations in the service department.
Plan to attend the Right from the Start seminar. It's the ideal way to learn more about your Jeep vehicle and to cement your relationship with your Jeep dealership's personnel. Many people have asked us for tips to help keep fuel and operating costs down. Well, the biggest savings you'll find have to do with the way you drive. For example, avoid jackrabbit starts. Accelerate smoothly and get into high gear as soon as you can. Drive at steady speeds and use cruise control if you have it. If you're stopped on a hill, don't use your engine to hold the vehicle in position. Use the brake instead. It'll save wear and tear on the clutch and transmission. Try to avoid hard braking situations by anticipating traffic slowdowns up ahead. Try to minimize idling time. For example, in cold weather, driving slowly away is just as effective as sitting there letting the vehicle warm up, and more fuel efficient too. Try to avoid carrying excess weight. Clean out the trunk or truck bed. Maintain proper tire pressure and wheel alignment. This will save on fuel and tire wear. And use a detergent fuel. It will help prevent the engine's fuel injector nozzles from clogging. And finally, if you're driving a Cherokee, Wagoneer, or Comanche with automatic transmission, use the comfort mode rather than the power mode. Well, naturally, on this videotape, we've been doing all the talking. But we want our relationship with you to be a dialogue. Tell us where we're doing a good job and where we can do an even better one.
If there are things we can do to improve our service, call your dealership directly, and we'll work to make the right adjustment. And to confirm that we're doing a good job, just complete the customer surveys you may be receiving in the mail from Chrysler. The first one is sent to about half of our customers, and it asks about your experience at the dealership the day you took delivery. A second survey will arrive in the mail about 2 months from the date you took delivery of your Jeep. It will ask some general product questions, but centers mostly around your experiences with your dealership's service department. Please take a few minutes to check off your responses to each survey, and then mail them back directly to Chrysler in the postage-paid return envelope. Our customers are the most valuable resource we have, and we want to hear from you.
We hope you've enjoyed this program, and we hope you share it with other drivers in your household. Visit us often for scheduled maintenance, advice, and information, and for quality Jeep car care products and accessories. Most of all, we hope you get the greatest enjoyment and satisfaction from your new Jeep vehicle.